Now on to our show with your host, Peter Mingles.
Hello, everyone. Peter Mingles here. It is Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we run a radio show with our favorite, Ms. Jody Baer. She is health coach Jody, and I met Jody several years ago as a result of a friend telling me, hey, you got to just talk to Jody. So we started talking to her, and I knew instantly that she really knew a lot about what she was talking about. And as a result of that, we've been doing these radio shows for a super-duper long time. One of the things that I really enjoy about Jody is she gives you some stuff that you're going to be able to use in your everyday life. And today's topic is going to be very interesting because it can really make a very big difference in your life in one of several ways. So Jody is a health coach. She's super duper smart in a lot of different ways as far as building businesses and, running companies and stuff like that. But when it comes to this topic specifically, she makes a big difference in a lot of people's lives, and I'm just chuckling a little bit because she's going to have some fun with this topic. But this is a serious topic, and she has helped me and family members with topics related to this that have made a very big difference in lots of people's lives. So Jody Baer, thanks for being here on Building Fortunes Radio.
And Peter Mingles, thank you for letting me be on Building Fortunes Radio. And I can truthfully say it's an honor and a privilege. And I wanted to give kind of a little backdrop on what we did with my great guest last week, my colleague and friend, Robert Mailer. This next week will be anniversary weekend for Jody and Bob Baer. It's number 10 where, yes, I said I do on a different beach, on the beach that he found me in Palm Coast. You know where the hammock is, Peter.
I sure do.
When he found me on the beach and he proposed a year later, and then we get married. So guess what? Next weekend, guys, you're going to get a replay, but it's not going to be just any replay. It will be the American Freedom replay of the iconic interview that I believe that will be life-changing and direction-changing in many, many industries. And we believe in America with Robert Mailer and myself. Dial into that. Have people listen to that. And why do I say? Because Mike King, who is also no stranger to Building Fortunes Radio, has created a page, and I want you to write this down, radio listening audience. It's www.change.org/FTC. That's Frank Tango Charlie. How can we forget it? FTC and then there's a dash action. And what that can do, I'm asking every single person on our radio listening audience to go in, share, go ahead and sign it, first of all. Then it will give you an opportunity to then share this. Does the FTC have blood on its hand? Our press release, all this SCOTUS that went on with the Supreme Court, everything, and ask your people on your social media platforms to join us in this change for the petition. I believe we can get 10,000 signatures when everybody mobilizes their social media platforms to their timeline. This is what I know. This class action lawsuit, once again, is we concern to people in America, people on the planet, and it is geared towards the FTC, and it's geared towards going ahead and saying no more. Now, it costs you nothing to sign it. Of course, we're going to be collecting, and we would like donations for our legal defense, but it costs you nothing. The donations are optional, and then guess what? Then you can go ahead and be a part of this, and you can opt out at any time. So before we get to our topic tonight, which is colon cleansing or the poop, yes, the poop, because I always have to talk about poop. Why? It's either pee or poop, because its elimination gives the best indication of your overall health. I gave it a little title today and tonight. It's called The Scoop on Poop. But before we do this, I just want to give you a little bit of my background and why I really am an expert on poop. I knew you didn't think that was going to come out, Peter, but I really am. I mean, here I am, a classically trained vocal musician in small town Montana. Just had nothing else to do in Montana, but I learned how to sing. I learned how to play, and I learned how to just use my talent to the best of my ability, which allowed me to then go and train at some of the finest venues in America and then finally the opera and concert stage. But that was my talent. Health became my passion when my mother was diagnosed with pancreatic and liver cancer. I was then a young wife and mother with 2 babies, and I knew I had to do something. And I just became relentless about doing something for her health. And what was the end result, when I went back up to Montana, went to the library. Yes, this was in 1982. There was nothing but a library. And I found alternative healing practices that allowed my mother, see the body, anybody's body in any condition, and I really want you to get this tonight, my listening audience, you can heal yourself. The body is a miracle-making machine. They gave my mother less than 6 weeks, and she was right under 3 years quality of life. So this was when I found my passion of absolutely becoming a health coach, transforming my life and leaving that as a legacy that my mother left and instilled in me. And here I am, 40 years later, still doing the same deal. Now, I don't often talk about the little detour and the blip on the screensaver of life of my health. I believe that I have absolutely lived out this credo, and it is, health is not something you do, but who you are along life's journey. Now, 22 years ago, I was 44. I was an empty nester. My kids were in college. My sons had been launched, and I decided I was going to run a marathon a month. Over everything, on every part of my body, including my liver. And see, everything is connected to another thing. It's just not your liver and then your pancreas and your heart. They're all connected, and we're going to talk about this tonight. Well, that's when I came up with, you cannot exercise your way out of a bad diet, which mine wasn't, but I couldn't exercise my way to health. I had a propensity, and this liver and pancreatic cancer that my mother had, probably a genetic weakness, came out in stage 4 melanoma. Well, I can tell you right now, my liver was compromised from a very young age. Why? Because I have suffered from IBS from whenever I can even remember. I was a toddler, and I'm going to get into this as well. See, this is why I know tonight's topic falls into Health Coach Jody, not only professional, personal, and life-changing expertise. There are people out there that need to hear this story. People just like me that say, well, if I do this much, then it'll help. But what I'm going to say is the scoop on poop. Well, ready, set, go. Yes, tonight's topic truly is a healthy way to get on track with cleansing. The scoop on poop. But let's get the commercial break before we really get into getting down to the heart of the matter, as we just say. Peter, back to you.
Here we go.
Thanks for listening to Building Fortunes Radio. If you sell a product or service, then you should check out PM Marketing's NetworkLeads.com. Just visit www.networkleads.com. For over 18 years, PM Marketing has helped distributors build their home-based businesses through lead generation, website development, automated email delivery systems, and sales training. If you're looking for a way to increase your skills and increase the number of people that see your product or opportunity, NetworkLeads.com can help. To learn more, visit www.networkleads.com. Ask about their lead management system, capture pages, personalized website, MLM training, humongous blog, the humongous classified ad network, Building Fortunes Radio, or their webinar schedule. NetworkLeads.com can be your one-stop shop for everything you need. And now, back to our show.
And we are back. Peter Mingles here with Jody Baer, and I just want to have her, she's going to mention the website just a couple of times now maybe, and also towards the end. It was change.org/FTC-action. So change.org/FTC- like the minus sign, action, ACTION. So you can go there. It takes you 5 seconds just to sign up for the petition. So back to you, Jody.
Yes, and we got some action here for sure. And where I'm going to start with this is think about a poopy diaper. Every adult has seen one. I mean, I breastfed my sons, and I remember their diapers were as sweet as honey. They didn't smell. It was just there. Then you introduced bananas and then solid food, and the poop started changing. See, and it depended on what was the poopy diaper was like, depending on what food. And usually when a new food was introduced, when they were infants, I noticed that it definitely had a dramatic change because their digestion was getting used to something else and something new. See, that, my friends, my listening audience, never changes. It's all about, your poop is all about digestion. See, there's potty training that comes in next. There is emotional trauma and surrounding stress with potty training. I mean, toddler stress or non-stress on a toddler will make the difference on how the peristalsis of that child is set up. That to me is dramatic, and I can certainly attest to this because I was just going through potty training, and my first remembrance, I was a little over 3. My dad passed away. It was traumatic to me, even though I didn't know what was going on. Here I was potty training, and this absolute dreadful thing happened to my mother, and it affected me just cerebrally and I think spiritually and emotionally. Even then I didn't know. And guess what? From my age of 3.5, 4, I remember having constipation, and my IBS and the situation that I had with this continued until about 3 years ago. So I'm truly a living, breathing piece of that. See, even when I would exercise and doing all these marathons and 80 miles a week and whatever, it helped a little bit getting that lazy colon, the lazy peristalsis going, but it didn't help completely. I can also say that IBS right now in America, in North America, has increased from 15%. It was 8% a decade ago, okay? So right now, almost 25%, that's out of every 10 people that you see, almost 3 of them have IBS. There's IBS with constipation. There's IBS with diarrhea. So there's both kinds. But guess what? As we've learned from myself, and you've learned from me, you've learned from Dr. Mike, you've learned from Dr. Jim, you've learned from Elise Marinakis, every healer that's been on here, then if Uncle Harry didn't die from a heart attack, he died from inflammation. Both situations are inflammation of the intestine. I love this, and I'm not dogging allopathic medicine. Sometimes we need drugs, and we need the ER, and we have to have a bone set and that kind of thing. But Humira, it's all over because of this increase in IBS. And they talk about Humira on a commercial. Now, I'm not making any medical claims here, but they will list every contraindication, can do this to your eyesight, this, and nervousness, and may cause death. Now, I don't know about you, but I really don't want to take something in my body that may cause death. Do you? So you've also heard me talk about these 3 sequences: detoxify, tonify, and strengthen. And I want to give Dr. Jim Marinakis a huge shout out, because when he came into my life almost 5 years ago, he began working with me. He said, Jody, we'll get it right. And it started with my gut health. I didn't see a big change right away, but every single one of these things I do on a consistent basis. You know that I'm basically vegan. I'll have a piece of fish every once in a while. I do have eggs, vegetarian, pescatarian. If I go out and I want a great piece of fish, great. But I stay away from meat and wheat, milk, and soy. Remember, wheat, milk, and soy make yeast, mold, and fungus. And if I could add, fungus among us makes inflammation in every part of your organs for its destination. Okay, so I just added something to that. But that is a definite. And gut health, though, starts from the bottom. It starts from the bottom chakra in your colon. So you've heard me talk about the parasite cleanse. Now, this is something that I don't give out on the radio show. I don't give out. I've talked about it periodically, but it is key to optimal health. I want to walk you through this if you're ready. Private message me on Facebook, direct message me on Instagram, or old school, just call me at 800-820-0584. That's 800-820-0584, or my email, Jody@healthcoachjodee, spelled JODEE.com. I will tell you the specific things that you need to do. Now, Bob Baer and I have been doing this for 4 years, and I'll come back to this because my husband has had a situation with, I don't want to call it anything. I don't get up with the diagnosis. He just has a little lung function problem. And this has made as big a difference for my colon health and doing this parasite cleanse as he has for his lung health. And you know how many people have asthma and allergies in the world? It's crazy because of all the toxins out there. So what I'm saying with this parasite cleanse, this is something that I do on a 90-day rotation, and I've done it for 5 years. And it's made tremendous difference in my own health, and it's a tremendous difference in my husband's health. I just put it on my recurring calendar on my phone. So let's go back and talk about your colon now. Peristalsis. It should happen at least once a day. And if not, you are super duper toxic. Give yourself a little bit of go juice and give yourself a little bit of an enema. If you are someone who doesn't go once a day, you need to get a little help from magnesium citrate. You need to get a little help from something like an enema to get peristalsis going, like clockwork. You can hear me clicking my hands. Twice is better. So good is once, better is twice a day, and best is after every meal. And frankly, constipation is just a lazy colon. Mine was a lazy colon. Also, it can be because of dehydration, all right? The key for this is having easy elimination. I'm not as concerned about what it looks like or how it comes out or this. It just should be easy peasy, and it goes into the bowl. Plop, go into that in the next time, because there's actually a time when if it's black, it's a good thing, or bloody. Then there's a problem in your digestion, and seek medical attention right away. Number 3, if it's black or tarry, it just may be that your liver is detoxifying. I enjoy taking on an absolute daily basis a Ganoderma product that is Life 120. If my liver is cleansing and I'm doing a gallbladder, liver, or a colon cleanse that I'm going to get to in a minute, it will come out black and tarry because guess what it's doing? It's scraping the tar from the intestinal wall as it's detoxifying your liver. It's a beautiful thing. Another thing is I'm talking about circulation. Getting the tar off your colon is the same thing as getting the tar out of your cardiovascular system, out of your veins, your arteries. It's all one body. Okay, if you have an oily or grassy stool, this is the 4th one. If your poop looks like this, it is difficult to flush, well then it may be that your body is just not digesting fat well enough, okay? So you might have to look at your nutrition and do some things with your pancreas and this kind of thing, and I can help you with that. If your stool or your poop is pencil thin, see, if it's very thin, that's not really a big deal, but if there's a muscle contraction and it still comes out thin, well, if it's always thin and always thin and always thin, there could be that blockage in your colon that's making it pencil thin, and that's to go ahead and seek medical attention as well. Now, sugars, and how many times have I talked about sugar? Every time I come and put my Health Coach Jody's hat, we talk about sugars. It's the most inflammatory, addictive food on planet Earth. It's as addictive as crack cocaine, okay? Inflammation will cause colon dysfunction. All right. So your body is like cars on a train. You have to have the engine, the passenger trains, the things that store cargo, and then the caboose. You have to have the links on the chain, and that is your colon health, to make sure that it's coming out properly from when it started in your mouth. Okay? Ezekiel said it the best in the Old Testament. There's a very, very famous song that talks about these dry bones, these connections. It says them bones. Oh, hear the word. See, the foot bone is connected to the leg bone's connected to the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone, et cetera, all the way up. It is the same way that your chakras, or just think about your organs. They don't are like separate islands. They are connected all together. See, but all of this connectivity with the leg bone's connected to the thigh bone, or your body, like cars on a train. Well, it's all connected, and that's going all the way up. I had a client, and this is why this is important, knowing that Jody Baer had a situation with IBS. My husband with severe asthma. And I loved, because there's really a connection between your colon and your lung function. And he said to me the other day, and I just cracked up. When somebody else can give me a rhyme, it's kind of cool. And he said, if your breath smells like your ass, you must come to Jody's class. So this is what I know. I'm going to give Dr. Mike a real good lead in with his book, How to Live in Optimal Health, How to Bulletproof Yourself in the 21st Century from All Viruses. On page 138, he talks about, and I call it his COVID book, and you can order it on Amazon, or you can reach out on our website, healthforlife.fit, F-I-T. But there are many herbs that can help. We've mentioned magnesium, fennel. If you have a sweet tooth, you will be thinking that you're eating licorice. Okay, ginger, great digestive product. Check this out. One of my favorites is rhubarb. And I'm thinking back when I was that little girl in Montana. My mother had a rhubarb garden that was as large as the state of Montana. And she would look at me and she said, now that rhubarb piece is as big as you are, Jody. Don't eat it all because you're going to get a tummy ache. And I'd eat the whole thing and I would poop for days because it's one of the best digestive things. If you think about things that are sour, are very pungent, chances are they will do a great number. Like, we're going to talk about Cascara sagrada, some herbs, saw palmetto, burdock root, red root, all of these. Beets are very, very good, especially done with vinegar and apple cider vinegar. I believe in taking a tablespoon in water before each meal if you're having some issues and you want to really help your colon health, which gets me into the 5-day colon cleanse. Okay. It's a precise protocol with psyllium, black charcoal, a couple of other things, and Cascara sagrada. We talked about apple cider vinegar. This is one that if you're ready to go with the Jody, I want to know more. Just contact me because it's very important that you do this. You contact me on a daily basis as you do this, just as we're going to be doing this parasite cleanse together. This is one where the Bears do it 4 times a year. After we get back from our anniversary weekend, we're going to be doing it again. It's like the seasons. This is the winter time, and then we'll be doing one in spring, summer, and fall. So this is what I know. In this stress-filled age, people are having colon issues. That's why I decided to bring this full circle here. Number 1, you knew I was going to start talking about pea as well. Keto sticks. Pea on the stick. You get keto sticks after any pharmacy. Go to CVS, go to Walgreens, just say I need some keto sticks. Your pH, when you wake up in the morning before you put anything in your mouth, should be between 7.5 minimum. 8.5 is best. If not, then there's some digestive issues, and we need to work on getting you in alkalinity. That's where Dr. Jim has helped me so much with phycocyanine, the finest strain of blue-green algae, along with Ganoderma. And I've got mangosteen and other herbs. And, of course, we must have moringa in there as well. All of these help with this colon digestive health. So number 1 is your keto sticks. Number 2, your hydration. Use lemon, use lime. Use lemon and lime together, and remember the MCT oil, Mary, Charlie, Tango, in your water. Half of your water, of your weight in water. And I also oxygenate my water with Ganoderma drops. Okay. Then, how you eat. I prefer 60-40 minimum, but 70-30. What is the 70? Leafy vegetables, broccoli, great lettuce, not iceberg, tomatoes, onions, anything that you can think of to your protein in your diet. Okay, number 4, remember your goal is to eliminate easily. Use that small enema with a fleet enema. You don't have to use the whole thing. Just give yourself a little water boost. It'll work. Magnesium citrate, you can get it at Target for 99 cents a bottle. It will get things moving. And remember, 3 things. When you're in optimal health, health is something that you are, not something you do. All right? Your breath should smell sweet. Your sweat should smell sweet. Now, even after I come in, after a run, after exercise, I'm telling you right now, my sweat, I sweat like a son of a gun, but it doesn't smell. When it starts smelling, I know that I have to detox my colon. So it is your breath, your sweat, and your poop. They should all smell the same way. Just sweet, sweet, sweet. So before I wind up this, I want to give this site, which is going to be sweet, 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 to get all of you, the listening audience, participating, putting this on your social media platforms. Be the change that you want to see in the world. That's why I want to say thank you, Mike King, for running with this and making this be known so that we can right this wrong, go out and just like we're going to right the wrong that's going in your colon, we're going to right the wrong that's going on in this nation against this wonderful company, SBH, and be on charge with the FTC. So it is change.org/FTC-action. If you have any questions at all, do give me a call at 800-820-0584. It's 800-820-0584. Private message me on Facebook if you have any questions, or direct message me on Instagram. It's the same at Health Coach Jodee, spelled Jodee, or old school email me at jodee@healthcoachjodee.com, and of course buildingfortunesradio.com/Jodee. Now, I know I went through an awful lot of information, but knowledge is power. I'm here to serve you. Yes, you, your colon, and your overall health. So when you call, just make sure you reference Building Fortunes Radio for a discount after our 15 minutes for free with Health Coach Jodee. And, Peter, that's the scoop on poop.
Perfect. Wonderful information. Make sure you check her out. Go to buildingfortunesradio.com/Jodee, buildingfortunesradio.com/Jodee, and we're going to catch everybody next week. Thanks, everyone.
You've been listening to Building Fortunes Radio on buildingfortunesradio.com. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the designated Building Fortunes Radio segment with Peter Mingles. Be sure to check out the buildingfortunesradio.com website for our featured segments. It's been our privilege to have you listen in. At Building Fortunes Radio, we wish you the success you deserve and are willing to work for. So spread the word, tell a friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world.